Good morning and welcome to today's edition of Empowerment Hour. I'm Denise Oliver and yes, once again, we are not at Callan FM. I wonder what day that will be when we will be back in the studio fully with so much talk of different areas going into lockdown for different lengths of time, the possibility of the whole country going back into lockdown. Who knows what we're going to be doing? I'd rather we all went into lockdown now so that we could get together over Christmas. That would work for me. Happen to love Christmas. And this year it's going to be very different because we've got the dog and we've already started having conversations about how we have a Christmas with a dog in their house and not keep worrying about whether she's nicking the tinsel off the Christmas tree or eating a bauble or something like that. So that's our plans as we go ahead. Today, even though this is recorded, when you hear this on the radio, it will be bonfire night. Please, if you're having your own little celebrations in the garden, just with your family, please remember the animals, because the fireworks do scare the living daylights out of them. And then they, if it's a dog, bark incessantly because they're stressed. So yeah, just mindful, enjoy yourself, but be mindful as well. So what are we talking about today? Well, I have the very gorgeous Sami Blackford with me today, and we're going to be looking at all things to do with the fact that we're moving into winter, how that can affect our mood, along with lockdown as well. Oh my goodness. And what can we do to actually create a more relaxed and at the same time uplifting experience for ourselves over winter. So as always, Sami's got loads and loads of information to share with us. I love having her as a guest. So good morning, Sami Blackford.
Hello. It feels like such a while since I've been here.
I know. It has though, hasn't it? And whilst you're in lockdown, you're in Wales, just down the road from me, it's really I still find it bizarre to think that how close Chester is to the Welsh border, and that there's certain shops and things that I can't go to right now. I can't meet up with you for a coffee right now, and it's just like, it's just weird. And yet at the same time it's like, oh okay, yeah, we can't get together, you're in lockdown, great, have fun. You know, and it's just like whereas in the beginning with lockdown we had that incredible weather, right, going back to April and May, and you're making comments on social media and saying about how it's almost like we didn't have spring. We knew it was there, and 2 weeks later we had summer. Which many countries around the world actually experience it like that. They have like 2 weeks of a season, and then they have a much longer version of another season. And then that seemed okay because we had all the wonderful weather and we could get out. But lockdown now in the rain, what's it like?
I can tell you, I can confirm that lockdown is much more fun when it's hot and sunny and you can sit out in the garden. Not so fun when it's absolutely chucking it down outside.
Yeah, it's somebody used to say to me, oh, you know, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. You have to get yourself geared up for it. And there are some days I look out, and now we've got this dog, she has to go for a walk, open the door, and she looks at us like, you can't be serious. It's way too wet. I'm not going out in that. And it's like, yeah, why would we go out in it? You know, and she's like, I'd rather sit and cross my legs for 5 minutes. Can we just wait till this is done? And then sure enough, it passes and we do go out, and then she's fine. I'm still not so fine. I am such a hermit when it comes to winter. It sort of bothers me, but it sort of doesn't. But I know that for you are getting the sense of your mood is changing. So just very briefly, just give us a little hint on that and what that's like, and we'll talk more about it in the next section.
I think this year it's been more pronounced than most years because we had such a long phase of the nice summer weather. But I have noticed in the last couple of weeks that like my energy levels have really dropped. I don't want to go out. I don't want to get up in the morning, I want to curl up under a blanket and just lie there for as long as possible. And I think it's a mixture of things. I think it's the weather has suddenly changed, and also because we haven't really been able to socialize this year. It's been really weird. It's just been a weird year. Let's just admit it. It's been a weird year.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, my phone is going off, people. I do apologize as we're recording this. Not everyone knows that right now I'm recording a radio show. So yeah, people are trying to get in touch with me. We're going to stop there for now. We're going to take a break now, and then we'll be back with more on that that sort of raining and draining type of energy that you're aware of, and how that's affecting your mood and what you're doing about it. So hi there, welcome back. This is Empowerment Hour here at Callan FM. To everyone who is in lockdown, Sami's going to talk to us about some of the things that she's doing, my guest Sami Blackford of FreyaLuna, to lighten her mood, and possibly there's something in this that will help you as well. So I know one of the things that you really loved over the summer was that you went to your allotment a lot.
Yes.
So how has that changed now?
Well, because of the weather, and I will hold my hand up and say I am a fair weather gardener. I do not enjoy gardening in the rain when it's absolutely chucking it down. So I haven't been able to get out there as much recently, and also things are kind of starting to slow down anyway. There are still some flowers that we can harvest, but on the whole it's slowing down, so I won't be there as much anyway over the winter. So that I kind of feel like I have lost that that lifeline, as it were, because during initial lockdown I think that was kind of I knew I could leave my house and be somewhere else, so that really helped a lot. So I've kind of lost that a little bit, and I do feel a lot more hermit-like at the moment, because it's dark days and mornings, and all day it seems to be really dark at the moment, and raining, and the temperatures are dropping, and I just don't want to go outside, but also I do want to go outside because I know I need that. So we had a dry morning the other day, so I just took the opportunity to go out and just go for a walk, and the effect was amazing. So as soon as I kind of went out of my front gate, there was just like a lightness to my energy, to my physical body. There was just such a lightness. And I mean, it started raining while I was out, obviously, you know. Live in Wales, it's going to rain. But it was just so nice to be out and surrounded by the greenness rather than by the four walls of my house.
Yeah. It's I hate the word balance, and there's not a balance to be had. Winter is winter, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think we had a quick chat before we started the recording that the seasons, some of the seasons seem to have concertinaed themselves this year. Spring seemed to be very short, and then we went into this heat, and and it seemed to be quite prolonged. Yes, we suddenly got a lot of rain in June, blah blah blah, and right now autumn has happened, and we're suddenly in winter, and I don't know about you, but it's a bit like, oh, it goes dark so early in the evening. It's like, oh, what am I going to do with that? I have a dog to walk, and we happen to start walking her in the dark. She doesn't mind. She's not bothered by that. And I've also started to notice how much people are huddling up into their waterproofs and things like that. When I did the nutritional healing training that I did, we talked about that energetic winter cloak that we would bring over ourselves. And there is that to take into consideration. We are part of nature, and yes, we do want to get outside in it, but actually, what do our bodies require right now? So I'd love to talk more about what you, other than getting outside, other things that I know that you have available to you, your particular products that you might use, So just give us, because you just said I've got a cupboard full of stuff, and it suddenly dawned on me, this is before we were recording, that there's stuff I could use. So what's one of the things that you would take from your store cupboard of wonderful products and use?
So yes, you're right. I was wallowing in this, like, oh, I have no energy and all of this, and then suddenly dawned on me, like, oh, okay, I've got all this stuff that I can use. Why aren't I? So I've been really enjoying using the skin mists recently. So you can use them on your skin. They're really nice and refreshing, like physically for your skin. You can also use them like as a pillow mist, or on your clothes or your hair, just to use the fragrance. There's there's 4 Bath and Body collections, so you can gain a range of effects with the different ones. So I've been really enjoying the uplifting one, which is nice citrusy, kind of orange, neroli, really kind of bright and sunny fragrances, which I think we can all benefit from at the moment in this dark weather. And it does bring that kind of lightness to the dark of winter, and the dark of this weather that we're having. And then on the flip side of that, I think we can, like you were saying, it's dark a lot earlier, and I think we can try and just keep going like we would in summer. When in summer we have like so much energy because of the sun, and like from the vitamin D, it really uplifts our moods and uplifts our energy levels. And we can be like all out, full on, like go full steam ahead. And as we get into winter, I mean, we can try and maintain that, but it's not going to be to our best health, really. As you said, we're part of nature. We kind of need to work with the seasons a little bit. So on the flip side of that uplifting and refreshing kind of thing is like really nourishing ourselves. So whether it's kind of lavendery flavors for relaxation, scents for relaxation, or kind of more rose and floral ones for that nourishment, we can gain different benefits from them.
Sounds great. And where can people go to actually take a look at these actual fragrances?
So they're all on our website, FreyaLuna.co.uk. All the products are there, and there's discovery kits as well if you want to like dip your toe in the water before you
have a little dabble.
Yes.
The dibbly dabbly discovery kits. I love it. That's great. We're going to a break now, everyone, and what I'd like you to talk about, Sami, when we come back, because I know there's something that you really are very interested in, and that's the astrology of what goes on for all of us and how that can affect us. Hi there, welcome back. I'm Denise Oliver. This is Empowerment Hour here at Calon FM. My guest today is Sami Blackford of FreyaLuna Skincare. Is that what you're calling it at the moment? FreyaLuna Skincare? Yeah, cool. Because you do have a little play around with the wording, don't you, sometimes? So
I do
want to get that okay. You're quite a fan of checking in with astrology and where the moon, the planets and all of that are, and how that could be affecting us. So what have you noticed for this year with the astrology of things?
Well, back in January there was quite a major alignment that happened with some of the what we call the outer planets, so the planets that are further away from Earth. And this is an alignment that only happens like every 35 years. So, it's quite a big deal in astrology. So that kind of ended a cycle. So it was 2 planets came together, and it ended a cycle from when they last came together, which was about 35 years ago. But it's not just flicking a switch and that's it. Once one cycle's finished, the next one's begun. So this year has been about, and I think this has something to do with why it's been such a weird year, has been about that transition phase, and kind of dealing with the stuff from the last cycle, kind of putting all that to bed, getting rid of stuff that we don't need anymore and all of that, and then kind of developing what we want to take through into the next cycle. And it's interesting that the last cycle was kind of around relationships with people, and how this year the whole Black Lives Matter, that's relationships between different people, different races, has really exploded, and how we're kind of starting to put, I was going to say put that to bed. That is can be quite reductive, but kind of that's coming to a head. And then it's also interesting that this coming cycle is about corporations, big businesses, how they treat their workers, how they treat their customers, and all of that. That's what this new cycle is like. It's 35 years, so it's going to be like an overarching theme. And that is also, you're kind of seeing that come into play more this year as well, with the whole people have to work from home, they can't go into the office, some businesses are closing, you know, all of that kind of thing. You're already seeing that recalibration, as the word that you mentioned before we started recording.
Yeah.
It is that this year is all about that.
Yeah, it is. People's lives have changed significantly, haven't they?
Yeah.
And it's not like it's happening in one country, it's happening around the world. And yeah, it is that, okay, going forward, what do we do?
Yeah.
And that the new normal, I hate normal and normality, and yet at the same time I get it. The seasons don't have a normal. We have the seasons, they come, they go, and they're ever so slightly different every year. The season doesn't go, oh, let's be normal. It's spring, let's be normal. No, it does, it's whatever it has to do to, well, with whatever the tools that we're giving it on the planet. The weather responds to the way we're behaving on the planet. And I saw the word recalibration on someone else's social media post, and I thought, wow, that is such a powerful word. And it was that I was looking for a word that was like, where am I going myself? Where am I taking my business? And this whole recalibration of something, it's like, yeah, so much has fallen away this year and other stuff is really coming through. And I hadn't thought about the relationship thing, and things like Black Lives Matter and all sorts of other protesting that's going on around the world, with or without COVID. There's so much changing, isn't there? Got the American elections coming up. Ooh, ooh, we won't go there. But stuff is, people are demanding something different, and they're prepared to literally put their lives on the line to show us that we have to change. Things do have to change. And that's about as political as I'm going to get for this show. So with all this recalibration, again, going back to your products, because it can feel very stressful and overwhelming for an awful lot of people. Is this where your uplifting fragrances would work?
Yeah, I think it in that point, it's what do you need? What is your body? What is your energy asking for? Whereas some people might need the uplifting, some people might need to just veg out and have some relaxation.
Yeah.
Because all of this tension that's been going on this year with everything that's been happening, that for some people they will come out, they will need the uplifting and the lighter energy to kind of bring them out of that. Some people will need to take a step back and hibernate for a little bit, retreat, and replenish, recharge themselves a bit from all of that. So it depends on what you require in that moment. So at the moment, I am needing the uplifting, the lighter energy, the lighter fragrances. There's other times where I need to just run the bath, put some rose in there somewhere, lock the door, and just have an hour to myself. So it's about, and it's not going to be the same for every person, and it's not going to be the same for every person all the time.
Yes.
So it's really checking in with your body, what you require. I mean, there's some basics, so like mint and lime, things like that are very zingy, very refreshing, revitalizing, reviving. The softer citruses are more gently uplifting. Lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, relaxing. Rose, neroli, things like that are nourishing. So on that scale, you know, there's something that will help you, whatever you're looking for.
Cool. Thank you for that. We're going to take a break now, and we will come back and let's talk about the weather, shall we, when we come back? A little bit more, and more to do with how we can help our outer skin to what's the word I'm looking for? To feel like you're not doing battle with the elements all the time. Hi there, welcome back. This is Empowerment Hour, and today I'm talking to Sami Blackford of FreyaLuna Skincare. And one of the things for me that's occurred during the this lockdown, transitioning into this whatever we're going to move into coming next year, has been to look at stress, overwhelm, anxiety. Now, one of the things that happens to all of us is that we do have to face the elements that the weather throws at us, that nature throws at us, whether that's blistering sunshine. We've had a lot of that this year, which is amazing. I don't know about you, but I felt great with that. But now we're moving towards stuff that that can really put a stress on the skin itself in a different way. So the rain, the wind, I don't know about you, but I walk down the road and leaves are battering me, you know? And it's fun. And at the same time, it's also, oh, my skin is really drying out way more than it did in the summer. So what suggestions have you got for us where all that's concerned?
Yeah, so some of the main skin issues that we can experience during winter and wintry weather is the dryness, like you've mentioned, more skin being more sensitive. There was something else that was in my head and I completely forgot. So when I remember, I'll mention that one as well. So what we want to do is nourish our skin as much as it can. We need to give it that kind of protection from the external elements. And those might be weather outside, and also with being in lockdown, it could be your central heating that's causing the problems. So for me, I've been using our hydration serum a lot more recently because it just adds that extra hydration, the more nutrient rich ingredients in there, just to feed my skin a little bit more as we go into winter, because I am starting to notice more of the dryness on my skin. For the sensitivity, you want to look for those kind of more soothing, caring ingredients. So chamomile, rose, those sorts of things. And for me, I would say, look at what your main skin type is, and then stick with products that are going to support that skin type, and then add in an extra product that's going to support the extra issues that you're seeing. So to give you an example, I have spot prone skin, acne prone skin. So I am sticking with the products for acne prone skin. And then I'm adding the serum in just the little areas of my face to support the dry skin that I'm seeing. Because if I completely switched my skincare products all to products for dry skin, that's going to completely overwhelm my skin and I'm going to get a breakout. So you want to still maintain the care that you're showing your skin for your skin type, and then kind of tailor and tweak little bits for the extra issues you're seeing. You might also, instead of using hydration serum, you might just switch maybe your moisturizer for a facial oil that's going to be more, have more active ingredients and be more potent for your skin. So really, it's like, it's just about making small tweaks rather than completely changing the whole skincare routine.
Yeah, because you're going to have stuff that you know works and yet just needs, like you say, that added extra something that that takes you through a season.
Yeah.
And is that
it's the same kind of in summer and spring. You'll need to tweak skincare as we go through the different seasons and as we age as well. I mean, like, as as I always say, our skins need to change. So what we need to care for it and feed it will change as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole topic, isn't there, in for women in particular with our cycles, and not just our monthly cycles, but how we change from being a teenager into our 20s, etc., etc., etc. We do notice that things do shift and change. One of the things I do want to mention is vitamin D and the importance of that. And obviously we are going into winter and the dark, and we're going to have more dark than light, and we're not going to get our vitamin D through our skin. And who knows, we're all, I'm going to say all of us are depleted where vitamin D is concerned. And we live in a hemisphere that we can't guarantee regular sunshine. We just can't guarantee it. We can have summers that are like winters. So, with so much rain and dark clouds. And so I would suggest to people, and I've recently had blood tests done to find that my vitamin D is, you know, barely covering my big toe on one foot at the moment. So little in my body. And I've been recommended, like, I'm not even sure what the dose is, but it's a lot higher than the government recommend. And again, this might be something that you want to look into, is taking a vitamin D supplement. So listeners, if your mood is a bit low, it could be your vitamin D is very low as well. And so by actually buying a supplement that you can afford, whatever quality it is, buy the best you can afford, and start taking a lot more than the government recommends, and see how you get on. As far as I know, there are no side effects to taking a lot of vitamin D, other than you might feel better. So, you know,
you might be happy. Oh dear.
If you don't want to get happy, don't take the vitamin.
That was one thing that I kind of realized was trying to get a message to me, like, because different people kept mentioning vitamin D. I was like, oh, body, is this what you want? So I've just ordered it, so I'm waiting for it to arrive, vitamin D supplements. So I'm looking forward to seeing what results those will give.
Yeah, cool. Let's take a break now. We can always come back after this song and talk more about vitamin D and the benefits of it and why we don't get enough of it. I'm happy to go anywhere now. But there's also, I know that as we come into winter, we've got Christmas coming, things like that. I'd love to find out about the products that you've created that invite us to relax, to take time off. So if we could have a little bit about that before the end of the show, that would be fabulous. Hi there, welcome back. We are talking all things, what are we talking all things about the weather, skincare. I've got Sami Blackford from FreyaLuna with me, and self-nourishment and preparing ourselves for this change in the season is very, very important. I didn't take it seriously for many, many, many years. And again, it was only when I went on the nutritional healing course that I did over a couple of years that it dawned on me how much I would push and push and push my body to limits that weren't good for it, going out a lot, which is more difficult to do right now because we've got the COVID restrictions going on, and yet you still see people doing it. They still want to get together, they still want to party into the early hours, and then wonder why they're not recovering as well. So just talk about the things that you have as products that invite us to relax and take time off.
I think rest and relaxation is something that we are really missing. I think in greatly in the Western world. So it's not just like a UK thing. I think on a whole, because we push ourselves, we don't give ourselves enough time to rest. So we've created different bath and body collections. I mean, like the whole of skincare can be an invitation to take time for yourself and recharge yourself in some way. So whether that's just applying moisturizer and maybe you add a little bit of massage techniques into that, that's a way to nourish your body. And more specifically, in the Bath and Body collections, we've got the Relax and Unwind collection, which is a blend of things like lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, a few other different fragrances in there as well, but they're the three main ones. And these really help us to relax. So lavender has been shown to soothe the nervous system. So like it literally not just, oh, I feel relaxed now. It physically has an effect on our bodies, which I think is what we need. So when we're stressed, when we're overwhelmed, when we're overworked, when we've got anxiety, we need that our body has a physical reaction to it. I know I've had what I've come to realize is stress. I've had such muscle tension in my body for years and didn't realize what it first, for a while I didn't even realize it was there, and then didn't realize what it was. So they have that actual physical effect on the body to soothe the body, to, because we get in that state of that fight or flight, you know, where we're in that stress response, you know, ready to take on whatever it is we need to take on. We need to remind our bodies that they're safe, that they're loved, that, you know, we're okay. We don't need to fight a tiger right now.
Yeah.
So whether it's taking a nice warm bath, because that has even more added benefits with the warmth, seeps into our muscles, helps them to relax. The fragrances then obviously are dispersed into the air more readily, so we can enjoy more of the smell of the products and the effect those has. Or whether it's using the body oil for massage, even if it's for yourself, self-massage is a wonderful ritual to experience. So there's a whole range of things that you can do. And I think it comes back to being more mindful in the experience of how you use the products. So yes, you can apply a body oil as a moisturizer and just slap it on, which you're going to get some benefits from it. It's going to help your skin, yes. If you just be a bit more mindful and take it as an invitation to take time for yourself, then the benefits are going to be like so much more.
Yeah, cool. Well, as you're talking about all that, taking time for yourself, it comes to my mind, my daughter, and before she goes to it, she just loves to apply her makeup, and it's such a ritual for her. And I think that word ritual is something that we don't have enough of for our daily lives. We allow things and people to take up the time that we require to nourish ourselves. And so whenever she's like, I'm going to get ready now, it's like an hour and a half before she has to leave the house. But it's also that whole thing of, she's made herself some food, she's made herself something to drink, and she's going to go and spend that time just with herself. And she takes the dog with her, and the dog just lies on the bed and watches her using all these brushes and applying all this stuff to her skin. She's calmer as a result of it. She's not rushing it. The dog's calm. Hallelujah. Win-win. You know, and it's just that. In fact, my daughter's taught me that actually taking time for me is really important, because I never used to bother. Now I do. I love your, oh gosh, what are they called? Gua sha.
Yeah.
And using that to actually blend. I don't wear makeup. My skin doesn't like it, but I do have my own blend of skin nourishment that I create, which I learned to do when I had the Lymes. And I use that gua sha to really massage it in. And it's just like that 10 minutes for me after I've had a shower. And I love it. It's like, oh, thank God. Yeah, there are these things that can really, really benefit us that are so simple. Just they don't have to be complicated. And you don't leave your house.
No, and as well, I think it's that thing of, like, as you say, taking the things that we do anyway. So whether it's applying your makeup, whether it's cleaning your skin at the end of the day, there's stuff that you are doing in your day anyway that if you just put a bit more attention and intention into it, then it just becomes something so much nicer and more nourishing for you.
Yeah, and it brings an ease and a calm to
Yeah.
you, your mind, your body. It just aids you to connect with yourself and, I'm going to say ignore everyone else just in those moments, because there are times when you can't ignore other people. That's okay too. We're going to take our break and we'll come back for our final we section at the end of the show. So stay with us. This is Empowerment Hour. I'm Denise Oliver. My guest is Sami Blackford. Hi there. Welcome back to the final section of today's show. So Sami, any last hint or tip for us at the end of this show?
I think the main tip would be listen to what your body needs. If it needs rest, give it rest. And just be gentle with yourself. We're going into winter. We don't need to carry on full steam ahead. Just be gentle and caring.
Actually, one of the things that I recall seeing on your social media, and you're all over social media, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you've got your website, so everything can be found. You have Pinterest as well, don't you?
Yeah.
So there's loads of ways of finding FreyaLuna skincare. Is that you mentioned working in front of computers and laptops and how drying that can be on the skin and the effect that can have. So just briefly, what sort of product would you recommend would help someone's skin? Because I feel it when I walk away at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, gone really tight, but not in a good way tight. It feels so dry. So what would you say about that?
First of all, in the morning when you're applying your products, make sure that you've got something that is going to add that extra nourishment to your skin, because that's going to kind of maintain throughout the day. And then have something with you at your desk. So I keep one of our little beauty balm tins, which I use as a lip balm, and also you can apply anywhere on your face or body.
Yeah. And I have to say that those balms last ages. They really, for such a tiny tin, it's like, well, that's not going to go far. It really does. I highly recommend them.
So you can just apply them as and when you're feeling like a bit of dryness or something. And then when you come away from the computer at the end of the day, again, is your skin requiring something a little bit extra? And like, we kind of been taught that we use skincare in the morning and we use it in the evening. You can apply it anytime that you feel that your skin needs something. And the other thing is as well to obviously take breaks from the computer as much as you can. I know we're all working from home from our computers a lot more now, with the whole situation that we're in. So we will perhaps be more at our computers with online conferences and all of that kind of thing. So take as many breaks as you can. I mean, like, that's for not just for your skin, that's for like your body, your mind, that's just about everything.
Yeah, it absolutely is, isn't it? Thank you. This show has been full of so much information. I'm so grateful to you for being ready and willing to share all of that with us. So, Sami, thank you so very much. To everyone listening, please stay tuned to Callan FM. We wouldn't have a radio station without you. We're really grateful to each and every one of you who tunes in. And as the show goes out on Bonfire Night, stay safe and enjoy your Bonfire Night, however you are going to play or not. It doesn't really matter, does it? Just do whatever works for you. Take care. I'll be back next week. Thank you, Sami. Bye.
Bye.